Scrap Wyvern changes everything. You want to know why?
Because Orcus still exists.
Like, I'm sorry to break it to you guys, but Scrap Wyvern kind of breaks Scrap Recycler, and because Scrap Recycler is broken now, it just makes Orcus that much better. So in today's video, I'm going to discuss Scrap Wyvern, its impact on the format, and why this card really does change everything. Scrap Wyvern is a Link 2 Earth Machine effect monster with 1700 attack. It has arrows pointing left and bottom, and it has the following effect. You can target one scrap monster in your graveyard, special summon it, then destroy one card you control. If another face-up scrap monster is destroyed by card effect, while you control this monster, except during the damage step, you can special summon one scrap monster from your deck, then destroy one card on the field. You can only use each effect of Scrap Wyvern once per turn. So let's give a theoretical example here. You normal summon Scrap Recycler, use the effect, send anything. You reveal a danger, and then you link these two monsters into a Scrap Wyvern. Scrap Wyvern is now going to get its effect to reborn the Recycler and then destroy it. Then you can summon a Scrap Golem from your deck and then destroy another card on the field. Now remember, this can be any card, so if you destroy an opponent's card, that's just better for you. But let's just say you have no other card to destroy. Let's say you just destroy, in this case, Scrap Wyvern. Now you can use the Golem effect to summon the Scrap Recycler back from your graveyard, and then Scrap Recycler is going to get its effect to send again. So at this point, Scrap Recycler gains insane amounts of advantage. It becomes a removal piece, it becomes a consistency piece, it becomes so many different pieces, and it's also resilient altogether. If your opponent has one hand trap on the Scrap Recycler, that means with any monster, you just summon back the Recycler and get another send. Scrap Wyvern is clearly really good with Scrap Recycler, but can it be broken in other scenarios? Is there another scrap monster we can abuse here? Well, not necessarily. Scrap Recycler is so good with Scrap Wyvern because of the fact that it's not a hard once per turn send. Even though it's a win effect, meaning it can miss timing, that still doesn't matter because Scrap Golem exists. Before we continue, if you guys want to join an awesome community of people, make sure to go down into the description and check out my Discord server. I'd love to have you there. With that, let's continue the video. Considering all of this, now we need to figure out what good cards we can send with Scrap Recycler. Unfortunately, the ban list has not affected Orcus enough in order for the deck to be dead. Orcus is clearly the best deck right now. You know what a common debate is? Should I play Scrap Recycler or Mathematician? Now with Scrap Wyvern in the mix, there is no argument here. You play Scrap Recycler and it's absolutely nuts. So you're telling me I can just freely send 2 Orcus cards from my deck to the grave, or 2 machines in general, but because the Orcus are machines, you can send 1 Orcus monster and something else if you want it. However, I think the biggest thing as to why this card is so good is, think about it this way. So when you're playing Striker Orcus, and you draw Engage plus Mathematician, you get a Kagari and a Mathematician on field. If they hand trap your Mathematician, sometimes you link into Shizuku and end phase get another Engage. Here's the thing though, with Scrap Recycler, if they impermanence your Scrap Recycler, you're just like, oh, okay, link into Scrap Wyvern. This is kind of absurd how easy it is to put Scrap Wyvern on the field. Now, don't get me wrong, Scrap Wyvern isn't the most broken thing in the world, thank God. It's only because Scrap Recycler exists, and you don't always draw into Scrap Recycler. But when you do draw into Scrap Recycler, you might as well just win the game. The amount of resiliency this card gives you is insane, and because of all of this, I feel as though Scrap Wyvern does change everything. Now remember, this card isn't just amazing in Orcus. There are applications in the future. So a good example of this is we have an upcoming structure deck with the Machina cards. Machinas are getting a new buff in the newest structure deck because of the structure deck R series or whatever. So because of this new Machina structure deck, we could potentially see Scrap Wyvern being able to be played in that, just because you can send any machine and then send another one. Do I think something like this needs to get banned? 100% no. It's only a good buff for machines, it's only usable with Scrap Recycler, and while that's not to say that it's not good in Scraps, because clearly it's amazing in Scraps, it definitely doesn't do enough to put Scraps on a whole different level. But the fact that this card's so insanely powerful with Scrap Recycler, regardless of the fact you have to play Scrap Golem, which inherently is a brick. Scrap Wyvern definitely breaks Scrap Recycler, and Scrap Recycler is amazing in Orcus, and so Orcus just gets an insanely huge buff from this card. If you want to watch more videos on Link Monster reviews like Crystron Halki Fibrax and Predaplant Verte Anaconda, make sure to click on the end screen right next to me. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and with that, I hope to see you soon.